Russia told Ukrainian forces holed up in a chemical plant in the embattled city of Sievierodonetsk to lay down their arms by early Wednesday, pressing its advantage in the battle for control of eastern Ukraine.
Street battles are raging in the eastern city. The governor of the region says it's mostly under Russian control. Much of Sievierodonetsk has been destroyed.
Ukraine is calling for an increase in Western heavy weapons after Russia committed the bulk of its firepower to the eastern Donbas region, a topic expected to feature prominently at a meeting of NATO defense ministers on Wednesday in Brussels. Ukraine says more than 500 civilians are trapped alongside soldiers inside the Azot chemical factory, where its forces have resisted weeks of Russian bombardment and assaults that have reduced much of Sievierodonetsk to ruins. Fighters should stop their senseless resistance and lay down arms from 8 a.m. Moscow time, Mikhail Mizintsev, head of Russia's National Defense Management Center, told the Interfax news agency. Civilians would be let out through a humanitarian corridor, Mizintsev said. The Azot bombardment echoes the earlier siege of the Azovstal steelworks in the southern port of Mariupol, where hundreds of fighters and civilians took shelter from Russian shelling. Those inside surrendered in mid-May and were taken into Russian custody. Shelling on Azot was so heavy that people can no longer stand it in the shelters. Their psychological state is on edge, said Regional Governor Suri Gaidai of Luhansk, one of two eastern provinces Moscow claims on behalf of separatist proxies.
Of Ukrainian forces, the 3 bridges of the city has been destroyed, and up to 80% of the city is now under Russian control.
The Russian assault on Luhansk Sievierodonetsk, a city of barely more than 100,000 people before the war, is currently the focal point of what has been called the Battle of the Donbas. Kiev has said 100 to 200 of its soldiers are killed each day, with hundreds more wounded. Ukraine is still trying to evacuate civilians from Sievierodonetsk after Russian forces destroyed the last bridge across a river to the Ukrainian-held twin city of Lysychansk. Russian forces have shelled Lysychansk, which lies on higher ground on the western bank of the Siversky Donets River.
On Twitter, with 500 tanks, 2,000 armored vehicles, 1,000 drones, just to give you an idea as to how desperate Ukraine is now to receive the weapons promised by the West.
The ground has changed hands several times over the past few weeks, and Ukrainian officials have given little indication they will back down. But with all the bridges leading from Sievierodonetsk now destroyed, Ukrainian forces risk being encircled. We have to hold strong. The more losses the enemy suffers, the less strength it will have to pursue its aggression, Zelensky said in an address late Tuesday.
As before, we have casualties and they are painful for us, but we have to hold the line. This is our country. It is vital we hold the line there in the Donbas. The more losses the enemy suffers there, the less power they will have to continue the aggression. That is why the Donbas direction is key as to who will come to dominate in the weeks ahead. We also have painful losses in the Kharkiv region, where the Russian army is trying to strengthen its position. Action is ongoing in this area, and we still have to fight to oppose stiff resistance to achieve full security for Kharkiv and the region. We continue to put pressure on the occupiers in the south. The key objective is to free Kherson, and we will move in that direction step by step.